This is the TubeBuddy 23 sneaker channel. Channel? It's not a channel, it's a channel. I'm going to leave this in there. I don't care. I'm going to leave it in there. That's the way this channel rocks. This is the TubeBuddy 23 sneaker channel. TubeBuddy 23 sneaker channel. Des. I bring you daily content right here in Japan for you about sneakers every single day, except on Tuesdays. I sometimes slip out of that and I bring you content about something else. Today is a Tuesday and I am slipping out of that. We're in the middle of a Tuesday top 10 countdown when I count down tips for new YouTube channels, and we're on to episode 4. And today it's all about looking at the creator studios. Now there are two creator studios. There's the beta studio and there's the classic studio for the content creators. And we're going to look at how those two are affected by the TubeBuddy app. So if you're interested in content, you're interested in your own channel, stick around and watch this video. As I said in the introduction, today is all about the creator content that I'm doing for the Tuesday Top 10, which I do every single Tuesday. Now, tomorrow I'll be bringing you a Yeezy drop. I said in yesterday's video that tomorrow will all be about the Legacy 312 lows, but it's not about the Legacy 312 lows, it's about the Yeezy, the Geode, I think they're calling it. And it's interesting because it's not just a Yeezy 700, it's a Yeezy 700 V2, which is interesting because it's an update on what is a very popular brand right now for the Yeezy line. So tomorrow it's all about those Yeezy V2 Geodes, not, as I said, the Legacy 312s, but today it's all about that content and all about making content for content creators out there. We're looking at the beta studio versus the classic studio and how the TubeBuddy app works with those in relation to tags today. So I've given myself a really challenging task today to explain to you, the viewer out there, how the beta studio and the classic creator studio look with the TubeBuddy and what differences there are between them. Now that's challenging because if I have a small screenshot up here, it's very difficult for you to see. So I'm going to have to be really creative about how I show you the differences between the beta studio and the creator classic studio through the eyes of the TubeBuddy app. But that's what I'm here to do, so I will try to do that for you today. Now this is important. If you're a creator out there, if you have a channel and you're creating content, the thing that's important in this today, and I'll get to it at the end, but I'll tell you right now, is that in today's video, there's a technique for knowing if your tabs are actually showing up on searches out there. Now that's important. I don't know if I've made it clear it's important, so I'm going to say it again. If you imagine your tabs and you have, I don't know, say you've put 400 out of the 500 possible tabs on your video, you can actually see, oh, putting that tab ranks my video at number 2 on the search engine. Oh, putting that tab ranks my video at number 19 on the search engine. Oh, putting that tab doesn't rank anywhere on the search engine, which is important because you want to rank number 1. That's how your content gets seen out there. YouTube will rank your videos based on your tags. So getting the tags right and knowing that they're ranking in the top 5 or 6 for search rankings is really, really important. And that's the point of today's video. That's why I've chosen this complicated thing to do. So without further ado, let's have a look at the beta studio versus the classic creator studio. So number 1, when you're, I've got to explain this. Oh my God, I know I'm not going to do this well, but you're just going to stick with it, aren't you? First things first is what I've got is I've got my channel open on 2 windows. I've got one in incognito mode, and you can see that I'll put it full screen where you can see the little guy in the corner with the hat, and he looks really secretive, and then I'll pop it back up here as a screenshot. And that little mark there means incognito mode, which means the Chrome extension for TubeBuddy is not accessing my YouTube. And then in my other window, which is not incognito mode, I've got the same page open in my YouTube account. Both pages are identical. It's the recently dropped video of the history of the Jordan 4, the Bread 4s. Goodness gracious, I've got a lot to say today. It's the history of the Bread 4s. So it's the same video on both pages, but one's in incognito mode, so it's not accessing the Chrome extension for TubeBuddy, and one is in regular mode, and it is accessing it. So that's the only difference, the only variable between these two here. Now, first, we're going to start in the beta studio. So in the beta studio, if you look at the title, when you're typing in the title on your video, you can see in both of them here, you can type your title in and it gives you an out of 100 score, which is how many characters you're allowed to use, including spaces, okay? Including spaces. So you're allowed to use 100 characters in your title. And you can see here, I can't remember how many I used in the bread title. Maybe it was 96, I think. There are 96 characters out of 100 that I used, and in the beta, we're in beta anyway. I'm going to get to classic later. We're in beta anyway, but with the TubeBuddy extension turned on, you can see it's 96 out of 100, and without the TubeBuddy extension turned on in incognito mode, you can see it's 96 out of 100. It's the same. That's important because in later parts, it's not the same, and you cannot see how many characters are available. But the point right now is in Beta Studio, looking at the title, you've got both titles there, and both of them have the count of how many characters you can use, and that's exactly the same down below in the description. I think the description might be 5,000 that it goes up to, and in the description of the Jordan 4, the Bread 4's video that I did, you can see that I have 542, I think, characters used in both descriptions. Again, it's the same if you have the TubeBuddy app plugged in or if you don't, the extension on Chrome. But then we get to the gold. Here's the gold, and what you guys need to know out there is when you get to the tags down below. Now we're in beta, I've got to stress this, we're in the Beta Studio and we're in the tags down below, and you cannot see the count for either one. You can have 500 characters in your tags max. I always have 500 characters or thereabouts, 499. When I see creator content users out there, content creators out there, and they only have like 4 or 5 or 10 tags, I'm like, no, fill your tags to the maximum that you possibly can. I try to get it to 500. It might be, 496 or 497, but fill your tags as much as possible. And the thing is, in beta, in both incognito mode without the Chrome extension for TubeBuddy and in beta with the TubeBuddy extension plugged in, neither of them show you the count for how many characters you've used, which is extremely frustrating, because when you're typing in tags and you want to get the maximum in there, you don't know if you've gone beyond 500 or not, or you don't know how many more letters are to go. Oh, I can squeeze in 3 or 4 more tags, or I'm really near my limit. And it's quite frustrating when you can't see that. And it's one of the things I really hope YouTube can fix out there. But what you can see in the version where the TubeBuddy app is plugged in is the green numbers that show where your tags rank. Now, in the normal modes where you don't have the TubeBuddy app plugged in, you can't see those little green buttons there. But in the beta studio with the TubeBuddy app plugged in, you can see those green numbers there. And what they're telling you is if somebody types these words into search, for example, YouTube or Google, then your content will come up as this ranking on the results of that person. Now I've got, I think, is it Nike Jordan 3? No, Nike Jordan 4s. Is it Nike Jordan 4s? Jordan Bread 4s? Yeah, that's it. It's Jordan Bread 4s in Japanese. Comes up at number 3. So that means if somebody types in Jordan Bread 4 in Japanese into Google or into YouTube, the third video that they will see is mine. That's amazing information to know. I know how successful my tag is. Equally, if the tag's coming in at 19 or 18, then maybe I need to edit that tag and change it in a little bit way. Maybe I have to add a space, or I hadn't added a space or not. Like in, for example, Air Maxes. Sometimes the Air Max, you put a space in between or you don't. And it's important to see that number. But then if there's no number at all, what it means is that either that search field is useless because nobody's searching for it, or everybody's searching for it and you're beyond 20. You're more than 20th in the list of videos coming out there. So it's really important information, even in the beta side of things, which I don't like to use for video creation, when I'm typing my titles, when I'm typing my descriptions, when I put my tags in, when I'm making my end cards and my cards and my end screens, and I'm making my HD thumbnail, all that stuff. I do all of that in the classic content, the classic creator studio. But in beta, if you're a beta person, and if you like to use the beta studio, you can still do this on TubeBuddy. You can still see the green numbers and see how your tags are ranking in search results, which is great information for a content creator. Now, flipping that over and going now to the classic creator studio, you can see again, I'll tell you just straight up, the titles and the description are the same, but now you've got that one added bit of information which I just love because I use my tags so thoroughly, is that you still do have the green numbers on there which tell you how your tags are ranking in real time, real life search results, but you've also got the count down below. Out of 500, how many tags have I used? Not tags, how many characters have I used? Sorry, let me be really clear about that. You can use 500 characters in your tags, not 500 tags themselves. So you can use 500 characters, and you need to know that so you can, add a few more if you can squeeze them in, or if you're getting close to your tags limit, it's like, right, what's important, what's not? You actually have to make decisions about that. So that to me is really important. It's another reason why you should be working in the classic Creator Studio mode rather than the Beta Studio mode on YouTube when you're putting your videos in, is because you can see, yes, you can see those green rankings, which happens in both Beta and Classic when you're plugged into the TubeBuddy extension, but in addition to that, you have a count of how many characters you've used or how many characters you have left to use in your tags, which is also important information. Okay, I think I did it. I think I managed to explain that relatively well. I mean, maybe not perfectly well, but you've got that idea that in the Beta Studio, when you have the extension for TubeBuddy plugged in and you don't, there's a little difference, especially in the tags where you can see your rankings, but no big difference in the titles and descriptions. And then when you come over to the Classic Creator Studio, the big difference is again in those tags where, yes, you can see the rankings, but you can also see the count of how many characters you have left to use, which is important information. Now, what I would like for you guys out there to do is to test this out and let me know how you get on. If you are a content creator and you haven't been using your tags very often and you're not filling them up, and you've watched this and thought, oh, okay, I kind of need to get on that because that's important. I can see how my tags are affecting my ranking on YouTube and searches. That's really important for you as a creator. So if you do find this interesting, you do actually put this knowledge into practice, let me know in a comment down below and let me know how you got on and what changes you made to your process as a content creator. For now, I'm going to sign off and thank you for checking in today. This was episode number 4 of the of 10 videos about content creation. Last week, I did say that I was going to ramp up the quality, shall we say, of the tips that I've been giving you, and that's a nugget of gold about the green numbers, letting you know how your tags are ranking and how they're ranking your videos, because that will change how you create your work. And like I did say, those little nuggets of gold are going to get bigger and more higher quality as we go on into episodes 5, 6, 7, 8 and beyond. So for today it's episode 4 and I appreciate you checking in. Check in next week for episode 5 as I continue. I'm just mixing my words. Check in next week for episode 5 as I continue bringing you tips and trying to help you grow your channel out there alongside me as I grow mine. Thanks for checking in today. If you're looking for sneakers and you're interested in sneakers, tomorrow it's that Yeezy 700 V2 that's dropping and I'll be reviewing for you. If sneakers aren't your thing and you're only interested in content creation, I'll see you next Tuesday. Either way, I'm here for daily content. Some of you, I'm sure, I will definitely see tomorrow.